Welcome back. In this lecture, I'd like to talk about what AWS Amplify Console or AWS Amplify is all about. The console provides a Git-based workflow, and what it does, it allows us to host full-stack serverless web apps. And this is basically in line with modern web application development, right? So with hosting the full-stack serverless web apps, the real benefit is the continuous deployment. The full stack serverless app consists of basically a backend, right, built with cloud resources. And this could be GraphQL or REST API, could be file, could be data storage, right? So that's the backend. And the front end is built with your actual application or a single page application framework. And this could be based on React.js, Angular, Vue, or Gatsby.js, right? The Amplify console or the AWS Amplify console simplifies the deployment of your application front end as well as back end. So it gives you both benefits. What you do or what you need to do is simply connect to your code repository, and your front end and back end are deployed in a single workflow on every code commit. What this allows you to do, and the real benefit, is that this ensures that your web application is only updated after the deployment is successful, basically eliminating all of the inconsistencies between your application front end and back for you to build, deploy, and host your mobile web applications, finally enabling you to quickly iterate on feedback and get new features to your users faster, or updates to your users or clients faster. So that's really the AWS Amplify console. Let's take a look at next the modern web application. The modern web applications are constructed as a single page web applications that package all application components into basically static files. Unlike compare it with traditional client server web architectures, which really leads to poor experiences. For example, every button click or search is required basically a round trip to the server, right? It goes back to the server. Every time you click on a button, it goes to the server and fetches the information. In other words, re-rendering the entire application. On the other hand, on the flip side, the modern web apps offer a native app-like user experience by serving the app front end, in other words, the actual user interface, more efficiently to browsers because they come with pre-built HTML or JavaScript files that can then invoke backend functionality without having to reload the entire page. So you see it's much faster and quicker. So these modern web applications functionality is often spread across, let's say, multiple places. This could be databases, for example, authentication services, it could be front-end code running in the browser itself, or maybe the business logic running at the back end. You could also use AWS Lambda functions running in the cloud. And this makes application deployment complex and time-consuming as developers need to carefully coordinate deployments across the front end and back end to avoid partial or failed deployments. Now, the AWS Amplify console, what this does is simplifies these deployments of the front end and back end basically in a single workflow, just like I mentioned earlier. So the AWS Amplify console supports common single page app or the SPA frameworks, right? And the examples are React, Angular, Vue.js, Ionic, Ember, and so on, as well as static site generators like Gatsby or Hugo or VuePress, and so on. Next, let's take a look at briefly the Amplify console features. And I'm going to give you a little demo too so you can take a look at where you find within your managed console. So the Amplify console, you can do several things. You can connect your repository. So let's say you're using GitHub as a source code repository. You could use GitHub, you could use Bitbucket, GitLab, or you can use the AWS native code commit as a repository. And the Amplify code or the console itself automatically detects the front end build settings along with any backend functionality provisioned with the Amplify CLI, because we need to use Amplify CLI, which is the command line toolchain, for creating these serverless backends. Second, as a feature of Amplify. It allows you to manage production and staging environments for your front end and back end by connecting new branches. So you can either use a master branch or other branches as well. Third, atomic developments eliminate maintenance windows by ensuring that the web app is only updated when the entire deployment has finished. This is a real benefit because this eliminates scenarios where files fail to upload properly. Fourth feature would be, let's say you can connect your own custom domains, right? So if you're using ClayDesk.com, for example, you can connect that domain. If you manage your own domain within Amazon Route 53, the Amplify console automatically connects the root. So it'll connect ClayDesk.com, or you can use subdomain, which could be, again, ClayDesk.com, or it could be www.learning.claydesk.com. And then you can branch those subdomains. And finally, one of the features of AWS Amplify Console is that you can get screenshots of your app rendered on different mobile devices to pinpoint layout and UI issues. You can set up rewrites and redirects to maintain the SEO ranking. So this is all briefly about AWS Amplify Console. Let's now navigate to the actual management console. I'm going to demonstrate just where to go and take a look at the Amplify console itself. Perfect. So once you log on to your console, you can find these services. Either you can type Amplify or you can find within the all services and take a look at that way. So whatever is convenient for you. So I already visited the Amplify, so it lists under the recently visited services. So I'm going to click on AWS Amplify, and this will navigate or take me to the dashboard. Now, everything you need to develop and deploy cloud-powered mobile and web apps, right? Let's say if you want to create a React-based web app as a single-page application, perfect. AWS Amplify will take care of that. And again, it also allows you to do continuous deployments, right? So here you can either develop a new app, and you have to use the CLI, or the Amplify framework provides a command line interface, CLI, and library for your mobile and web development. Or you can deploy, build, deploy, and host modern web apps. So the way it works is fairly straightforward. What you do is you install the CLI, you set up some application services, and then you integrate with your app. As far as the deployment is concerned, you have to connect to your repository, configure the build settings, and then deploy your app. So that's the overview of AWS Amplify. So I hope this helps kind of make sense. If you have any questions, let me know. In this lecture, I just wanted to give you the overview of the capabilities and the real benefits of AWS Amplify. With this, let's move to the next lesson.